What's up, guys? Check out my collection. So these are individual packs or leftover packs from drafts that I've had or prizes. And today we're going to be creating some mystery booster drafts. So I'm going to take some packs and put them into here. And as I go through them, I'm going to talk about the sets. I've played pretty much all of these sets. That's how I have these cards. They're usually from prize packs or leftovers from drafts that I've done. So stick around, check it out, and let's talk about the history of Magic. All right, guys, so this is going to be probably a long-ass video, and there's going to be no pack openings, so I'm warning you now. But we're going to go over some of these packs as I put them into these boxes, and I'm going to tell you about my experience with these sets. Some of these sets are 10 plus years old, and my favorite part about Magic is every set has a different feel to it. Every set, especially 10 years ago compared to the cards today versus cards 30 years ago, are just, it's so different. I mean, Fallen Empires. If you compared the cards from Fallen Empires to the packs that we see today, you'd be blown away. That was a really weak set when it came out, and it's still notoriously weak and still one of the cheapest sets to get. But it's super old now, but it's super fun to see the art and the play feeling of the cards. So before we begin, I wanted to show off my Commander life counter that we create here at TCGFIX. So this is a Commander life counter, keeps track of your life total, your opponent's commander damage, and your commander tax. That is the command zone, and we give you one of these snap fit cases. So when you play it on the command zone, it really stands out. It comes in this beautiful case, which we designed with neodymium magnets. It is the size of a card, so it fits perfectly into a deck box. Oh, hey, look, I have a card from yesterday. So if you have two different commanders, you can put them all here. I'm kind of overstuffing this box at this point, but it does fit into any deck box. So definitely check out my website, TCGFIX, or my Etsy store. All right, so here we go. I've got 8 boxes here, and I plan to fill all 8 boxes up with sets from all these boxes, all these packs that I've collected over the years. And we'll go over some of the packs. My favorite column is going to be here. These are the really old packs. I started saving packs when, what was that set called? Original Ravnica, Dissension, and Guild Pack. So actually my first packs in here are going to be Dissension and Guild Pack. And then after that, any prizes that I won, I kept. I was a bad Magic player. I still am a bad Magic player, so I didn't win a lot of packs. But we'll go through them, and it used to be really hard to get packs. It used to be, I think you had to be like the top 3 players in the store to win prizes. Otherwise, you just went home empty-handed. It's not like pack per win like it is these days. So I really like pack per win. Again, I'm a really bad Magic player. So if I can get packs for a lower barrier of entry, I'm all for it. All right, of course, first packs we're going to start here are the Lord of the Rings draft packs. So Lord of the Rings, of course, a fairly new set, and a lot of you guys have played it. One of the best sets that have come out in recent times, and very strong power level and really good flavor text. And I had a really good time playing this set. So, and I practically sold out all of my bundles this week. So the cards are on fire. So I'm going to put those in here. So I got 8 of them, and I will set them up. All right, so the next one we have here is Amonkhet. So this was of an era where people were hating on Magic. The lottery cards, the invocation cards that they had in here were really difficult to read. I mean, compared to what we see in Secret Lairs today, this is nothing. But this was kind of the end of lottery cards. And people were complaining like, oh yeah, makes sets worthless when you put lottery cards in because all people do is open them. For chasing the lottery cards. So I have a bundle here because I only have 4 packs there. I need to open up a bundle that's hanging out in my stash. I bought this, actually traded some Battle Bond boxes with D20 Games in Alameda to get some Amonkhet's and Hour of Devastation packs. And these are the old bundles, and they come with like a full-on booklet. And you can see every single card that they printed in this set. This is for the newer Magic players who weren't around in that era, who never saw bundles like this. The dice are not oversized like they are today. Oh, this is a pretty dice though. This one is a like kind of translucent blue dice. That's nice. Add that to my collection. And then, yeah, they used to give you lots of lands. I wish they still did this. This is how stores used to get lands for their tournaments. So they would open bundles, run drafts with these, get the land, sell the dice, sell the box. Oh, it looks like it comes with a seeded pack. I don't even know what's in this thing. But nowadays, the bundles come with, I want to say, like 20 foil lands and 20 regular lands, and it just isn't enough to keep up with stores' demand. As well as they come with set packs, or they used to come with set packs, and you couldn't play with set packs, so that was kind of not helpful to stores. But of course, Wizards of the Coast found a nice opportunity to sell land stations. So if you go on Amazon, I think they're like $20 for a box of a couple thousand lands. So, you know, it is their game. They're trying to make money. I understand that. All right, so we got Hour of Devastation. I've only got 2 packs here, so I'm going to open up the next box of Hour of Devastation right here. Another bundle that we'll be getting into. Ugh, I really need a knife. Hold on. I can't find a knife, so just do a little cut there. All right, so another bundle of that era. This was the last set with a lottery card, the invocation cards. After this set, they stopped doing them. Hour of Devastation. I remember this set kind of playing very quickly. So if you drafted it, it was kind of a quick format, kind of aggressive, just turn things sideways, keep turning things sideways. So more lands. Oh, let's see what the dice looks like. Ooh, okay. This is the red one, clear one. These are pretty dice. And I'm going to take these packs and then put them into the chaos mix. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And these cards are getting kind of expensive because nobody really played it. And at the time there was such negative feelings towards the set that nobody really bought them to save them either at the time. So Fate Reforged, this is the second expansion for Khans of Tarkir. Khans of Tarkir was a very fun draft set, and back in the day you would have 3 expansions. So it was Khans of Tarkir, Fate Reforged, and Dragons of Tarkir. So this is the second one. This one has Ugin. This is the first time that Ugin ever showed up, and that was like the chase rare. It still is one of the best cards. But Khans of Tarkir, if you've never played that, is definitely one of the best draft sets ever. And they did away with 3-leg sets because each set, they tried to balance the set. So for example, if it got too quick, then they would use the second set to make it a little slower. But you lost a lot of synergy, and it kind of wasn't that fun. And by the 3rd set, nobody really cared. And that's kind of why they got rid of 3 sets. That's my opinion. These are Khans of Tarkir. This is one of the absolute best draft formats ever. It kind of hurts me to open this box to see these chaos packs, but it's one of the packs that you have to put into a chaos draft. So I'll probably take a couple packs out and save 24 of these so we can do a draft with them locally. So if you're in the Bay Area, we'll probably do it at the Game Parlour or Subpar Mini Golf or Destine Fantasy Games in Alameda. So for those new players, this is hands down one of the absolute best sets ever created and worth checking out. And the thing about older sets is they're kind of expensive now, especially when people know like, oh, that's a really fun draft format. So even if you're not going to get your value out of it, which you probably won't, it's still a really, really fun experience. So I ran out of Dragons of Tarkir, but I recently found an ad on Facebook Marketplace. Dennis, who I actually sold boxes to, was getting rid of cards in his collection, and I was like, oh, I need to add packs of Dragons of Tarkir. So this is not a popular set, and by this third block, nobody cared. And everybody hated it. So, and there's hardly any value in the set, I'll be honest. But the point of chaos drafts, not necessarily the value, but the experience. So I'm going to put a pack into each one. And even for me, I really liked the purity of the sets. So like when Khans of Tarkir was in rotation, that was probably one of my favorite draft sets. And then once Dragons of Tarkir came out, Fate Reforged came out, I played it, but I didn't love it. And then by the time Dragons of Tarkir came out, I really lost all interest. So Double Masters 2022, of course, this is a new Masters set, the last Masters set, because last year we got Commander Masters. So this was the like modern themed Masters set, and it was good. And for $10 a pack, which it was for a long time, I think it was good value. But even then, people found ways to complain about it. I really enjoyed playing it. Unfortunately, didn't get to play it much. I think when it came out pre-release, I got in a couple drafts, but the interest in this set faded very quickly. So that was sad. So we're going to open up a box here today and add some packs to my chaos drafts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So interesting story. I took some of these chaos drafts to Vegas GP last October, and I brought them and played in the free play area and was just offering drafts. And I brought one of these chaos drafts, and Wizards of the Coast, or somebody at Wizards of the Coast, filmed it. I don't know what ever happened to it, but it was, it's kind of famous. But anyways, let's talk about Battle for Zendikar. Battle for Zendikar was the first set you could ever get a lottery card in. They put in the foil fetch lands. And so they were like 1 to a case. And so people were like, stores were ordering cases and just ripping them because they were $300 each. And so if you got one, you basically paid for half a case. And then if you got 2, which was possible, you paid for the whole case. And all the other cards within the set you would sell for, singles, and that would just be the cherry on top. So this was the first time that we saw lottery cards. All right. Let's see. Do I have Battle for Zendikar? I don't think I have any more Battle for Zendikars, but that was the... No, not Battle for Zendikar. Well, I forgot, but it'll come to me. There was a follow-up set, and that, of course, had lottery cards too. All right, so Forgotten Realms. This was a pandemic set, kind of in the middle of the pandemic. But this was the time that they replaced core sets, and they put Dungeons and Dragons. And I think they did this because they wanted to attract Dungeons and Dragons players, and they wanted to make it beginner friendly. But it kind of pissed off all the regular Magic players. So if you play this set, it's going to feel kind of like a core set. So that's what I have to say about that set. Battle for Zendikar it's been so long I can't actually remember what was in it or how it played. But there were a lot of I think there were Phyrexians in that set, so people were excited because they hadn't seen those in a while. Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiance. So these have the Shocklands, and so I remember blue-green being really strong, but in terms of a set where I'm like, oh my god, I'd love to play that again, it doesn't really quite stand out for me. All right. There we go. These are Commander Masters, and of course this is a fairly new set, just a couple months old. 2, 4, 6, 8. This is actually one of my absolute favorite draft formats. I've really been enjoying Commander Masters, Commander Legends Baldur's Gate, and Commander Legends. I think Commander drafts are one of my favorite formats. And actually I want to do a Commander draft of these Chaos packs. At this point, there are so many legendary creatures, it's probably possible to do. But these are some of my favorites. Right now, if you can get a box for $240, that's what stores paid for them. And if you can get them for a little more, great, support your store. It's great, they're full of value, and I don't see any reason not to buy or play it. Jumpstart 2022. So this is the only pack I have. I didn't open a lot of this set. This was a set designed for beginners, and you open 2 of these packs and shuffle them together, and then they come with lands. This was a good way for stores to get lands, but why open these packs to get lands? It just doesn't seem worth your time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I wonder if we'll ever see Jumpstart ever again now that they've just completely done away with them. The only Jumpstart worth getting was that Jumpstart and the Jumpstart from 2020. Those were the only good Jumpstarts. Otherwise, they were all terrible. And just a sad money grab. All right, so this is the Mystery Booster Convention Edition, and probably somewhere in my collection there's one that's for stores. So they did the Mystery Boosters originally for the conventions, and then it got so popular that they did a store version, and instead of having the playtest cards, they had foil cards of chase cards. So that was the difference. They've printed so many of the convention editions at this point that they've really just dropped the price to these boxes. You can get them for about $150. And the retail editions, because they were less printed, are actually worth more, which is ironic because when it first came out, these were very expensive, and now they've just printed so many. So hold on, did I put 2021 because these are the store ones? Mystery Booster Convention Edition 2021. 2021. You know what? That's the problem with these packs, is I can't even tell anymore myself. So hopefully the other one says store edition, retail edition, and we'll know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these mystery packs, if you've done a mystery booster, then you'll love the Chaos drafts that I have. They're just so much more depth and sets that are so much older. But yes, of course, the chase card in that is very expensive. I think it's the Mana Crypt. Modern Horizons, the original one. Everybody loved drafting this set. And like I said, I'm kind of a beginner Magic player. I've been playing forever, but I don't think I'm a good Magic player. And so it wasn't a set that ever clicked with me. Every time I played it, I'm like, oh man, all these powerful cards. What do I do with it? And I can never figure it out. So, but apparently very good set, very good value, really expensive cards. So Modern Horizons was great. This is Masters 25. This set was interesting. The previous Masters set was Ultimate Masters, and that had a box topper. Everybody was super stoked about that set. And then the follow-up sets were Masters 25 and Iconic Masters. And it basically felt like a really weak, both of these felt like really weak Master sets. And it almost felt like they had taken a set that should have been combined and then divided them so they could sell more Masters boxes. And so everybody was really mad when these came out, and the prices of these boxes, I think, dropped as low as $120 for both of them. They did terribly. So again, Master sets I found, because they're at a higher price point or people already have the cards, it's kind of difficult to find people to play with. So at pre-release, you might get one, and then release weekend, you might get to draft. But once those are over, there's kind of no more interest to play these. So I didn't get to play these a lot, but would have been fun if we could have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Ah, perfect. All right, so the set that came after Iconic Masters and Masters 25, they waited a couple years because I think people were so upset at them, and they came out with Modern Masters 2017, and this was the first time that they had put Shocklands into a Master set, because finally it was like, okay, let's redeem ourselves. So they put Shocklands into Masters 25, Modern Masters 2017. Unfortunately, not too long after this set, they released Modern Horizons 2, which had Shocklands again, and basically made Masters 2017 values drop like crazy. All right, so, here we go. Actually, I lied. This is the first set that ever had inventions. Had lottery cards. It was Kaladesh, Aether Revolt, and then Battle for Zendikar. So, sorry, I lied. And then it went to Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation. Yeah, so a lot of Kaladesh packs. I'm going to be hosting a Kaladesh draft soon. It was an okay set. It wasn't my absolute favorite draft format. It didn't have a lot of complexity to it, but they had lottery cards, and of course everybody still covets these lottery cards. The Soul Ring is like $1,000. It's some crazy good cards. So they're very expensive at this point, and of course everybody's just trying to get the lottery. Hit the lottery cards. Oop, drop that pack. All right, and then the next set was Aether Revolt, and also had lottery cards to be found, but the selection was not as good as Kaladesh. So, and when you drafted these sets, it was first block and then second block. They didn't do a third block for this. This was the time where they were trying to get away from that. Did I put Jumpstart in there? Yes, I think I did. I did. Right. Conspiracy. I have another box, but I'm not going to put that in there just because I think Conspiracy would be better played with a group. And I only have one box, so I'd rather play that because I think it is more fun doing the free-for-all draft. All right, so got the original Jumpstart from 2020, the pandemic era Jumpstart, where everybody went crazy over the one green creature that they ended up reprinting in Double Masters 2022, and so now that set's not worth anything. There's a reoccurring theme. I'm going to go through this column at the very end. That's because it's some old shit that's really cool. So we'll go over that. Dominary Remastered. I have mixed feelings about this set. I think they printed too much of it, which is unfortunate, and dropped the value of the cards within. But I think they got so cheap that some of the cards that they put in there are still going to be great. Birds of Paradise. Just really good cards. I can't think of the most expensive card in that set off the top of my head right now. I know it's blue. Force of Negation, I think. It's from Alliances, but it's been a while. And in terms of play, I enjoyed it. But I just enjoy playing Magic, so it doesn't really matter the set. Even if people think it's bad, I usually just enjoy playing it. Commander Legends, a pandemic set. One of the best sets that had ever come out. And the Jeweled Lotus is hitting $100, which is insane. So this was kind of a gift to the store. The boxes to the store cost $80. And at the time, you could buy a box of Strixhaven for the same price, or Kaldheim for the same price. Or you can buy Commander Legends, which had some good throwback reprints. I think there's Demonic Tutor and a Scroll. There was like a Scroll card. I can't remember it off the top of my head either. But it had old cards and it had good value. So I bought a lot of boxes of these, and I also just love Commander drafts. I think Commander drafts are just one of the best things ever, and I hope they keep doing it. So Commander Legends, if you've never had an opportunity to, definitely play this set. The boxes now are about $130, so I'm glad that I loaded up on those. Great set. Definitely do it if you can. And speaking of another just amazing set, this is Battle Bond. This is a just one-off set that they've never ever done again, and this is a two-headed giant draft set, and I bought a crap ton of these when they first came out because it was the first time we had seen the commander lands. The Battle Bond lands is what they call it, where if you have two opponents, the land comes in untapped. And I looked at those cards, and at the time when this set was in rotation and people were buying it, they were $5 a piece. And I was looking at them, I'm like, every commander deck wants these cards. Like, how are they $5? And of course the argument was, oh, you only need one land in each deck. Well, I've seen commander players, and I know they have like a dozen decks. And of course you don't want to take that one land and swap it into your different decks. So I knew those lands were going to be something, and they ended up hitting $30 before they printed them in, ironically, Commander Masters and the most recent, what was the set that I played recently? But they've been reprinting them. So unfortunately, Battle Bond lands have kind of dropped down to, I think, $10 to $5 range. But there's still really amazing value in here. They put Doubling Season, Mycosynth Lattice, and some of the Battle Bond cards got kind of expensive before they reprinted one of the cards in Commander Masters 2022. But really good set. I offer this draft every once in a while, so definitely keep an eye out on TCGFIX.com to see where I will be playing that. It is probably one of my absolute favorite sets. All right, so with the popularity of the original Innistrad, they've of course been trying to recreate that love for Innistrad, and they did Shadows over Innistrad, 2, 4, 6, 8, and this is one of those sets. The weird thing about this set is they have flip cards, and so when you're drafting, you were supposed to let people know what you were opening or what your flip card was. I think they've taken that rule out already since then. But in terms of a set that I would play again, I don't think I would voluntarily sign up for it. I think I would play it if it was like a Halloween draft set. That Eldritch Moon. So Eldritch Moon, once everybody played so much Shadows over Innistrad, this was the second block of the Shadows over Innistrad, and very few people played this set, very people bought this set, and so of course now Eldritch Moon packs are kind of expensive. So a lot of the packs that you're seeing me show you, they may not have good value, but because very few people played it and opened it and got the cards within it, they got kind of expensive. Eternal Masters was an interesting master set. So when this came out, it was sold out so quickly that these boxes just went astronomically high on the secondary market. And then I think within a couple weeks or a month, there was this like massive second wave that showed up, and it kind of scared everybody, and stores were selling them at less than the market price, and so the prices dropped pretty quickly on them as well. That was when I picked them up, and I have a couple of boxes laying around. But this is the only set where it was designed for Eternal formats, and they've never done it since. So there are very expensive cards to be had in Eternal Masters. And again, unfortunately, it is a master set, and like I said, I think I probably got an opportunity to play it once or twice. Okay, the infamous unsets. So I didn't want to open up a Unfinity draft box, and I had these collector boosters laying around. Similar difference. So yeah, kind of goofy, non-tournament legal cards. Has foil Shocklands and Galaxy foil, which I think is pretty awesome. And I actually liked an Unfinity. I think it was a very complex draft experience, and it did have Shocklands that you could chase. And I loved the lands enough where I bought an entire draft set of them. So if you ever play against me, you will see all my Galaxy foil Shocklands. All right, moving on. Murders at Karlov Manor. Oh yes, the famous foreclosed manor. So, of course, this set is brand new. This is the current set, and everybody hates it. It's the first time that they've done a play booster, which is essentially a set pack with extra commons, and there's just no value. They didn't put in any of the old reprint cards. I've literally played this thing once. I can't even get my own drafts to fire, which is sad. Like this past Wednesday, I upgraded 4 people to a sealed, and I sat out because I was the fifth person. I couldn't get a 6th person. So I've only played this once. The one time I did play it, I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. I think my deck was pretty strong. So that's my take on that. I hope things will turn around for that set. All right, so this was of an era where people were like, what the hell is Magic doing? It was vampires riding dinosaurs fighting pirates. It was like a 3-year-old came up with a Magic set. And so people really didn't buy the set. People really didn't play this set. And now, of course, it's kind of hard and kind of expensive to get Ixalan packs. And in terms of value, I don't know that there is a lot of value. All right. I ran out of Rivals of Ixalan, but luckily, Dennis, in the lot that he sold me, had one of these Rivals boxes. So I'm going to add some Rivals packs. Surprisingly, again, this was the second block of original Ixalan. And by this time, everybody disliked Ixalan. And so when this set came out, nobody bought this because they already disliked the first one. And that's probably why they did away with continuation sets, because it's difficult to say if somebody's going to like the first one and want to go into the second series or the third series. And so now each set is its own unique set. So I think that's good. All right, here we go. Time Spiral Remastered, another pandemic set. So this was a really cool set. I really liked what they did with this. This was remastered done right. Instead of just taking a bunch of random cards and then putting Ravnica or Dominaria on it, this was actually reprints of Time Spiral cards. So there were, of course, 3 blocks at the time. It was Time Spiral, Future Sight, and there was some other set that I can't remember off the top of my head, which I played and I loved. So it was really cool to be able to get those old cards and get to experience that old play feel again. And so they did Time Spiral Remastered right. Unfortunately, I think one blue 4/4 flying card broke the format. And so if you draft that, you're going to win, because there's just no way to get rid of a 4/4 flyer. But this was the first time that they did the retro foil borders, and those were hard to get, and they didn't have collector packs. So you had to open a lot of these packs to get the foil Chalice of the Void in that old school border. And so that was the first time they introduced it, and people went crazy for them. So, perfect. I have plenty more where those came from. All right, so Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. So this set, oh man, I think it's like 2 years old, but it's still seeing sales on Amazon. So when they ordered this set, they must have went off the sales of Commander Legends, the first set. And they were like, oh my God, that sold so well. Collector boosters were sold out instantly, and the draft boxes are flying off the shelf. We've had to reprint those 4 times. Let's just go crazy on Commander Masters Baldur's Gate. So they used the name, but turns out it was kind of a weaker set, similar to Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, because it was Dungeons and Dragons themed. And so a lot of people felt this was more for beginners. I don't think that it was. It is actually one of my favorite sets to play. In terms of value, you need to get a dragon, otherwise you're not really going to get anything great. I think the lands in here are still the Battle Bond lands, so those are a couple bucks. And right now the boxes are so cheap. I looked yesterday and they were $85 on Amazon. Again, $85 for a box of Baldur's Gate or Murders at Karlov Manor. I think for me, that's an obvious choice. I would pay $40 less and play this and just have a much better experience. Will I get more value? Maybe, maybe not. But I think it's more fun than a traditional draft. All right. Streets of Barry Manilow. So this set, I think a lot of people disliked just because it was a pretty fast draft format and it didn't have a lot of dynamic feeling to it. It was very straightforward, like 2 colors, beat somebody down. So the only saving grace is they put Triumph lands in here, and those are kind of holding its value, but I don't think this was a very popular set. I don't think it ever will be. If I offered a Streets of New Capenna draft tomorrow, I'm pretty sure nobody would come and play. Which is sad. All right, Dominaria United. Oh, I gotta organize some of these packs later. But Dominaria United, I enjoyed this set. I know a lot of people didn't. It was one of those sets that it was like you could play 3 or 4 colors and it could get really complex. And of course, Sheldred is in this set, and that is like a $90 card at this point. I'm almost tempted to just open these packs instead of sitting on my boxes, because if Shelly goes down, so are these boxes. The only other card that's worth money is like Liliana, and she's only $13. So it went from like $90 to $13. And so it's hit a Shelly or bust. And I don't have enough packs of those, so I'm going to open up a pre-release kit. This is what I've been doing lately, is I've been saving pre-release kits and bundles so that I can fuel my, oh, look at that, my foil card, the Warden, and a red dice. So for me, obviously, I'm making these Chaos drafts. Chaos drafts are one of my absolute favorite draft experiences as well, next to the Commander drafts and the two-headed drafts. All right, Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. I don't think I need to explain this. This was a home run set. It was great cards and just absolutely fun to play. Probably up there with Khans of Tarkir. So if you ever get a chance, play some Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Great set. Very, very good. Crimson Vow. All right, so here we go. Back to Innistrad. So, of course, they tried to do Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow. And unfortunately, I think maybe they just printed too many of them. But I think they're slowly coming back. But this is definitely not a popular set. And there were a lot of werewolves. Things got really big. And I don't think that people really love this as a draft format. There wasn't a very dynamic feel to it. So, again, probably going to be difficult to run one of those drafts. Let's see. I think Wilds of Eldraine, a sort of recent set. I was playing this at the Vegas GP in October. So, again, one of the issues that I've been having lately is finding the time to play these sets and finding the people to play the sets. So when a set comes out, people play pre-release, they play release, and then it's kind of a crapshoot if I can get people to play until the next set comes out. And Wizards has been doing a really good job, and at the same time, it's just terrible because once a new set comes out, they're already spoiling the next one. So if you don't like Murders at Karlov Manor, well, guess what? Fallout's coming out, and they're already dropping all the new cards, and everybody's getting excited, and so then it kind of takes away from Murders at Karlov Manor, and it's like, oh, well, don't look at Murders, who cares? It was a bad set, we didn't enjoy it. Let's see what's happening in Murders, in Fallout. So, and sets come out so quickly these days that I feel like I get to play 2 or 3 weeks of drafts, and then the next set's on the horizon, and nobody wants to play the current set. And I mean, I even forgot Ravnica Remastered. Like, it came out after, actually before Murders at Karlov Manor. But I think it had 3 weeks of breathing room, so I think I got to play this twice. And so it kind of sucks. Like, I don't really get to play these sets anymore. And so that's why I created my own group at Subpar Mini Golf, 6 p.m. every Wednesday in Alameda. Ravnica Remastered. Interesting thing about this is everybody was so scared to order this after Dominaria Remastered was such a failure. I have boxes I'm sitting on my own right now, and I think I paid like $140 for them, and now they're selling for like $100. So I'm losing money on them. And that was pretty much every store that ever bought any. And so when it came to Ravnica Remastered, they're like, what cards are in here? They didn't actually put more valuable cards into this set, and they were relying heavily on Shocklands. And they printed so many Shocklands, everybody thought, oh, they're going to be $3. Surprisingly, they have maintained their value, and it seems that the print run of this set has been very low. So hopefully that's the case. But like Rudy said, everybody got scared, including myself. So I bought very few of it. And so if it does spike up in value, I'm not going to have a lot in inventory because, of course, I got to put my money into Fallout, which is the next set. Dark Ascension, I don't remember playing this set. I think this was an Innistrad. I think this was like a second or third block. I bought this when I was out in Ohio, and I thought it would be a really fun add, like an old set to add to the Chaos Draft. So I have really no opinion on the OG Innistrad Dark Ascension. At that time in my life, I was not playing as much Magic. I was only going to pre-releases. So I did do the Innistrad pre-release. You'll see some of my prize packs later. And a lot of those came from pre-releases when they had them at convention centers and not at the stores. Double feature. This was a mix of Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow, two sets that people hated, and then they turned them black and white and made them even harder to read. So people really hated them. It's actually one of my favorite sets. I thought the artwork was beautiful. I loved that they raised the borders and they had like kind of a different color to each one of the borders. I thought they were pretty unique, pretty special. And if there were cards in double feature or Midnight Hunt that you wanted, like Meat Hook Massacre, this is probably my favorite version of it. So putting those on here, still kind of on the cheap end of in terms of special items, but those were like WPN promo premium store products. Like regular stores didn't get it, so they were pretty limited supply. And unfortunately, it was one of those items that nobody really loved, but I think will be pretty special in the future. Speaking of Midnight Hunt, here's Midnight Hunt. Again, not a very popular set to play. It was very linear in feel and had big creatures. So it probably appealed to beginner players, but didn't have the value that people wanted. So, all right, Double Masters. This was definitely a pandemic set. This came out during the pandemic. It had a low print run. There were no resupplies, and they had a box topper with two pretty good cards. And so these boxes are the most expensive Masters boxes that you can buy. This was the first time that we saw 2 rares per pack. And so really good value in these, really good cards, very powerful set, really fun to play. I wish I could find people to play it. So pretty soon I'm going to be working on a VIP draft experience, Masters sets, older sets like Ultimate Masters. I'll offer an Ultimate Masters draft or a Battle Bond draft. So it's not going to be your $10, $15 draft, but it's going to be for older sets, for cards that you're chasing that are very expensive. It's really just for the experience. Like, these sets go up because they're getting older. And will you open the value? Probably not. But I went to Vegas one year and did the history of Magic, and I played some older sets that I never really got to play. And I paid a lot of money for them. I think they were $60 to $100. But it was worth that experience. Like, I tried to sign up for the Urza's draft this past October. I think it was $600 for 3 packs to draft. And that was crazy. But I never got to play Urza's. And for me, I wanted that experience. So I was willing to pay that amount. Was I going to open $600 worth of cards? Probably not. But you don't go to a baseball game and go, oh, this bobblehead isn't worth the price of my tickets, right? Like, you go there because it's fun and it's for that experience. So Ultimate Masters, the very first set that they ever did a box topper on, and they went hard. After the fallout from Iconic Masters and Masters 25, Ultimate Masters came out, and they were like, we got to redeem ourselves. So they put a box topper into this set, and it was like Tarmogoyf, Liliana, Snapcaster Mage, Mana Vaults, like just wild, expensive cards that people wanted. And so these boxes were flying off the shelves. At the time, I think I was paying $250. I don't know how much stores were getting them for, but I paid about $250 each, and now they've been fluctuating. They hit a high of 400, went down to 300, but the box topper is still pretty amazing and still valuable. So good set, really enjoyed that. It does feel weak compared to some of the new sets, since most sets are double rares now. And so when you play some of these older master sets, you go, oh, one rare, that's it. Okay, Ikoria, this was a pandemic set. So first set that came out during the pandemic. I really enjoyed Ikoria. I thought it was a great set. I thought the triumphs would be fantastic, things that people would always want. And I was right about that. And some of these cards were so strong, they had to like change the ruling on them. I think it was like, oh, if you meet all these requirements, it's the card is like a partner. It's like in the command zone. So I played a lot of that on Arena because at the time couldn't play in person. So I really enjoyed that. All right, Modern Horizons 2. This is one of the best draft experiences you'll ever have. Just hands down. It's up there with Kanza Tarkir, up there with Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, up there with Battle Bond. One of the best draft experiences. I played a ton of this. I opened a ton of this. And it seems that everybody else did because you can still get this for a very good price. And of course, they have some really great cards. The Ragavans, and then the, what else? Those elementals that everybody is using. Core 2021. So a lot of you guys haven't played core sets. These are kind of beginner, weaker sets, vanilla cards, base cards that you needed. They stopped them, of course, but still have... These are... I think I bought a box of this, and so that's why we have it here. This was the last core set, if you're not counting Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. And that came out in 2020. They always put 2021, but it was actually released in 2020. Zendikar Rising, another pandemic set, had was it Fetch Lands? I can't remember off the top of my head. I actually played very little of this set in person. Again, another pandemic set. So I played it mainly on Arena at the time, but still not a well-received set. And the only redeeming factor was, I think the box topper was the Fetch Land. And so people bought the boxes specifically for the box toppers. All right, March of the Machines. I really enjoyed this set. It felt, one of my friends put it best, and he said it felt like War of the Spark. Speaking of which, we're getting to that. So it had, of course, the throwback card, the I don't know what they call it, but they had the throwback card and a lot of rares, and these kind of felt like play boosters. And of course, there were Ragavans and some older cards that you could get. So it was a good set. Again, didn't get to play a lot of that because it rotated so quickly. All right, so we got Core 2020, released in 2019. Probably nothing to write home about. If you play this Chaos Draft, core sets are probably the last pack that you want in your hand. Or actually, there's another pack. I'll show you in a second. Strixhaven, pandemic set. Didn't get a lot of people to play it. I played it a little bit. I don't remember if it was great or terrible. I didn't play it enough to really develop an opinion. All right. Now, another one is Kaldheim. I was really disappointed in Kaldheim. I thought it would do better. I enjoyed it. I loved the bundles. The dice were beautiful. I liked the Norse mythology. I think there was a mechanic called Foretell where you could basically prepay it and put it on. Like you'll get it later if you pay it now for cheaper. So I really like this set, but it was another pandemic set and it seemed to have gone nowhere. Let's see. War of the Spark, the first and only set where every pack has a Planeswalker. And if you ever get an opportunity to play this set, I think it's super fun. And because every pack has a Planeswalker, it made for a very unique and interesting draft experience. And there's some pretty good cards in here. Teferi's in here, of course. That was the chase card. So I really enjoyed this set. Really enjoyed that set. I might put it up there with like a cons. Like if I had an opportunity to play it, I would. All right. And then I got some Phyrexia All Will Be One here. I don't have enough of them. So I'm going to open a box of pre-release kits here. These pre-release kits had those Phyrexian dice, but they came like one in a case. One or two in a case, but there was a guy on the internet who, Sword of Forge and Frontier. Wow, okay, nice. There was a guy who figured out that they were marked, and so I think stores just took out that one pre-release kit because they were expensive. Phyrexia, I think a lot of people loved the theme, but in terms of playing a draft, nobody liked it because poison counters were so powerful that you'd be dead in no time. And so the games went really, really fast. And so there was no build up. And so it wasn't really a fun draft format. But the cards within it, very expensive, very powerful. People love the theme of Phyrexia. So in that sense, it was a good set. Brothers War. Again, another set that I think would have been really fun if I got to play it. It just rotated so quickly. I think I got 1 or 2 drafts in. And so it's so hard to be like, hey, let's do a throwback draft. And nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to play what's new and hot. And that would be Fallout, I guess, because nobody cares about Ravnica or Murders at Karlov. And actually, I know a lot of people who hated Ravnica Remastered, the draft experience. And I kind of agree. I've played against some people who had some really oppressive mythics. And so you sit there, and if you don't have an answer, the game's over. And so that was no fun. And that happened a couple of times. So I understand why people didn't like Ravnica Remastered as a draft experience. Throne of Eldraine. The original Eldraine set, and this was like the food tokens. I remember playing this. I remember enjoying it. I thought it was a fun set, and I kind of like that fairy tale theme, so good set. And let's talk about how old these cards are. How old is this pack? When was this printed? Made in the USA. Difficult for me to tell. I don't want to rip it and think somebody thinks I opened it. All right. So, and then I've got Dominaria. This set is really, really good. And it's because they brought Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic the Gathering, back into Magic to design this set. And he must have made some kind of rule where it was like, I want you to limit the print run of the set. Because at the time, they were going crazy like they always do. And this set was in rotation, was in print for a little while and then sold out. And then all of a sudden, they got very expensive very quickly. So even today, I think this is one of the best draft experiences. This is the first time that you saw a saga. And from that point on, of course, you see sagas. But I think Richard Garfield invented sagas, and now, of course, they're running with it. So really, really great draft experience. It's on my docket of drafts to offer as a VIP experience. So we'll be doing that soon. All right, so got some other boxes here. We've got Theros. I ran out of Theros. Lost Caverns of Ixalan is a new set and haven't put it in here yet. Core 2019 was part of my purchase from Dennis, so I thought I would throw that in here. This was a 2018 set. So again, probably not good value, but in terms of feel for the card, that's why I put it in here. You won't find a vanilla card in any of the current sets. There was like a meme going around with a dinosaur that had power and toughness and literally no text in the text box. And that just doesn't exist anymore. You do not get vanilla cards that are just 2/2 for 2 and does nothing. Like a 2/2 for 2 mana better do something spectacular. Otherwise, it just won't see a deck these days. So again, why do you play Chaos Drafts? It's for that experience of seeing and feeling how these older sets played. Theros, when this set came out, was ill-received. People hated on it. And then over time, the cards people realized were like, oh man, that's really strong. And so some good cards to be had in Theros. It is a enchantment-heavy set, and I don't always love drafting enchantment-heavy sets because your creatures are usually enchantments and can be destroyed by removal enchantments. And that always hurts me. This is Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and of course this is one of the most powerful sets come out recently. Man, I'm struggling to open these things. And so one really good thing about the rapid fire pace of releases is that there's a new set around the corner that I can add to these Chaos Drafts. So where it used to be like, oh, you could add 4 packs in a year, now I can add like 8 packs in a year. So it's really fun to be able to do that. Now that I think about it, I might have had pre-release kits for that, but oh well. Okay, and to kind of add some value, Doctor Who never came out with regular draft packs. So I'm going to add the collector boosters of Doctor Who in here, and I will probably do the same with the Fallout packs. Doctor Who, if you haven't had a chance to play this, I think is a sleeper set. I think it's a really powerful commander cards that you could only get in here, and I bet a lot of people didn't buy because they didn't like the theme of Doctor Who. They just couldn't relate to it in America. And so I think it's probably underpriced. I think these are going to get more expensive. I've done commander sealeds with those where you take 3 packs of Commander Masters and 3 packs of Doctor Who and do a sealed with it. Trust me, it is one of the best Magic the Gathering experiences you'll ever have. And when Fallout comes out, I'm going to be offering that at Subpar Mini Golf or Destine or the Game Parlour in San Francisco. So definitely check out my website and see what I'm offering. I do these throwback VIP experiences and regular drafts on a weekly basis. I just love playing the game. Here we go. Double Masters 2022. So this was the first collector pack that they ever included with the regular Masters set. So this was the first time we saw that. And so these boxes, oh no, I take that back. Double Masters had the VIP boxes, but these were the first times we saw these individual packs like this. And so these were kind of expensive when they first came out. I think they hit a high of like 300, 250, and now they hit a low, I think, even of 200. So they're still expensive packs. They have 4 rares in them. I put them in here because I want people to get some good value. And I'm going to do that with Commander Masters as well. It's kind of the chase pack. You know, if you sign up for my event, hopefully you get one of these packs and you don't get hosed by getting 3 core set packs, you know. And it could happen. It can totally happen. So I'm going to seed these with some value for you, hopefully. Well, I know this has been a super long video, and so this is the best part right here. This column right here are the older packs that I have, and I plan to put them in here. Oh, I forgot. I need to put these in here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to throw these into the chaos drafts as well. So these have 5 cards each, and these have 8 cards each. So that makes like 16 cards. So again, best part about chaos drafts are the old school experience. So I'm going to throw those in here. Dennis actually hooked me up. So I bought some boxes from him and he just threw in these Fallen Empires packs. And obviously he sat on them because maybe they were souvenirs for him, but there's not anything of any value. But for a person who's kind of new to Magic, to open up these cards and just see what Fallen Empire looks like, which is, I think, a 30-year-old set at this point, I think it could be a really fun experience. So there's that. So let's go through some of these packs. I've got some welcome boosters. Oh, I didn't even need to open more collector boosters. I guess I did. Innistrad Midnight Hunt Welcome. Modern Masters 2015. I didn't put these in here because this was the one time that Magic tried to do paper packs. So they were trying to be environmentally friendly. They never did it again, unfortunately, because you can shake them. And when you shake them, paper on paper gives you that subsurface scratching, and it also nicks the corners. So I don't put them in here. I should. Maybe I'll just put in a pack and write, Masters 2015 on them. I've also been collecting these promo packs. Okay. So one of the older packs that I have is Judgment, Core Set 2014. So let's throw a Judgment pack, Core Set 2014. You know what? Let's just throw one in there. Why not? Probably people won't even know about the paper pack. And even if they did, at this point, it doesn't have double rares, and it's not really a chase pack. It's not very expensive of a pack, so even if you knew it was paper, go for it. Onslaught. I got an Onslaught pack. I think I bought this at Walmart. It was like a mystery pack sealed within some other packs. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's see. I'll throw one of those. Ooh, Invasion. Dark Ascension, which I have a bunch over here. Put that over there. Invasion pack. Welcome boosters. Nobody wants welcome boosters. Ooh, Rise of the Eldrazi. So this was given to me as a birthday present. So local Magic the Gathering player and good friend of mine gave that to me for my birthday. So let's throw that in here. Let's share the love. Original Innistrad I played at the pre-release. I swear I had more packs of this, but they've gone missing. So original Innistrad. This is a Zendikar pack. I think I opened one night because I was like, I want to open a pack. So I just kept it in there. Original Zendikar pack. Let's throw that in there. Ooh, Ice Age. Oh man, I opened a ton of these. Dissension, Shadowmoor. I played at the pre-release of Shadowmoor, and I won these. And let's see, what else do I have here? Core 2012, Mirrodin Besieged, Scars, Torment, Prophecy, Lorwyn. Oh, I definitely won that at a pre-release. Dragon's Mane, Alara Reborn, some more Shadowmoor. So yeah, so I like to. Oh, here's the Dissension packs I was telling you about that I won back in the day. So I'll throw these into the Chaos drafts as well, and just kind of have some fun mixture. So let's do Dissension there. Let's do a Shadowmoor pack there. Alara Reborn. Dragon's Maze. Sorry to whoever gets that one. Prophecy. Torment. Scars of Mirrodin. Mirrodin Besieged. So, all right. So each box has some nice throwback chase packs as well. If you guys are interested and you guys are in the Bay Area, definitely stop by my website, tcgfix.com. Like I said, I'm trying to create this VIP experience, offer some chaos draft experiences. And if you're interested in doing a Kaladesh draft or a Battle Bond draft or a Double Masters 2020 draft, check out the website. I hope you guys will sign up. Please join my Facebook group so that way I can keep in touch with you. So facebook.com/TCGFIX. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know it was super long. I've been playing this game for a long time. I love this game. I'm not really making any money off of this. But the money that I do make off of these chaos drafts, I do charge $35, which I know is kind of steep because you could theoretically get, $3, $4 packs or $3 packs. But the money that I get from these drafts, I end up taking and buying older boxes to replace the things that I'm missing or add some packs like Dark Ascension or some just random old set. And so I'd love it to keep this going. So if you would join me, that would really help support the cause. And I might, if you're interested, reach out to me. If you're interested in buying one of these boxes, I'll randomly send one out to you and you can do a pretty insane chaos draft with you and your friends. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I just realized I did not show what was in the rest of these packs here. And these are not packs. They're just like promos or box toppers. Like I just don't open packs. I just rather have everything sealed. So I have, let's see. Throne of Eldraine. So interesting story. Throne of Eldraine collector box. Stores were giving these away at one point when they first came out. So the store that I went to generously gave me a bunch of them. So I still have those, and luckily they're like $20 each, and that was pretty cool. And more promo packs. So yeah, the store that I purchased from just hooked me up with promo packs. Zendikar Rising promo. Ooh, look at that. Somebody gave me this for a birthday. So that's pretty special, I think, pretty unique. And yeah, these are just promo packs. So now you know, in case you were having burning questions on what that was. And I'll take that box topper that I opened and throw it into that pile along with the other stuff that I have in there. I don't like opening packs because a lot of times it's not worth what you think it should be. So I like to keep everything sealed. And I think this is the best way to play Magic, is play it with friends. All right, well, that concludes the video, I swear. See you guys on the next one.